Hi everyone, this is Phil Travis here, SCF, your history professor, EUH 2032. So it's week 3, and I wanted to make a couple of comments. I want to see if we can get some of us on task here. Some of you are kind of slow to get engaged in the class and the discussion forum in the way that we really should see. And also, there's still a number of folks that are not doing the free extra credit points. And why? Right? I mean, they're free points. So let me explain a little bit about that, and then I'll tell you about what's going on this week. So the extra credit, which everybody should be doing, the extra credit is just an exercise whereby you watch these opening announcements, and in the opening announcements, I will mention a factoid. I'll tell you what it is, and then no later than Wednesday by midnight, you email me and tell me what the factoid was. And you get a free point. And by the end of the term, I'll add all your points up, and then I'll add your extra points to one of your test scores, your midterm or your final. And that'll help you boost one of your test grades, which could really, really matter. It could be a grade point, potentially. You could get as many as 3 points, potentially, in your final grade by doing this. And all you have to do is watch the opening announcements and email me the factoid no later than Wednesday that week. The reason I do this is because if you really want to learn the subject, and this is World War II, right? This is a subject that I assume everybody took this class because you're fascinated in this subject, right? I mean, that's what I would hope. But if you're going to learn the subject, you can't just do almost nothing during the week and then crash on it for a couple of days on the weekend and hope to learn it. I mean, you might learn some of it that way, but the best way to learn in an online course like this is to start on task at the beginning of the week. Okay, first thing, I watch the professor's opening announcement. Next thing, watch my weekly recorded lecture. If you then watch the lecture, it's going to give you a general overview of what we're talking about for the week. You're going to be ahead on the reading. You're going to already kind of know what's going on. Then look at the reading, then start doing the discussion, and then by the end of the week, do whatever related assignments there are. So in order to kind of really learn the subject, we should be on task from the beginning of the week, and that's my kind of goal with the factoid. So I hope everybody starts doing them. I want you to get free points. Like, I want you to do well in my class, but I also want you to learn some of the material. Okay, the discussion board, just need to see more people getting active in the discussion board. I mean, even if you don't make your first post by Thursday, you'll still get a lot of points if you have good activity and you have more than one day. Just be active in the discussion board. It's going to give you some points at least, even if it's not all the points. So let's see. I hope to see more people active in the discussion board as well. Okay, this week we have 3 chapters to read from Bendersky, the same book that you read from last week. Remember, these readings are scanned in Canvas, so we're going to get back to our main text next week. This will be the last week where you have the Bendersky reading, but these are scanned in Canvas. Chapter 4, 6, and 7. They're pretty short chapters, so it's actually not that much reading. But watch the presentation that I have before then. Because then if you're like, wow, it's a lot of reading, I have to skim some of this because I got to go to work, then you'll have a general understanding, and if you skim it a little bit, it'll really help you. The presentation will. So, but we're reading Bendersky 4, 6, and 7. You find those readings in our Canvas page for this week, week 3. Next week there'll be a paper proposal due, so be ready to start thinking about that early in the week. We have a paper. This is a Gordon Rule class, so we write a research paper in this class, and one of the first steps to it is a paper proposal, which we'll turn in at the end of next week. And next week, all the pertinent information will be in there. And so I hope you'll start thinking about what you want to write on right now. I leave the topic open to your choice. So think about what things you might like to write on. Maybe you want to write about the Nazis in propaganda, which will be this week's factoid. One of the assignments this week is a video quiz, okay? So I have a film. It's a Nazi propaganda film from 1935. It's the most famous, or infamous, I should say, of the Nazi propaganda films. It is called Triumph of the Will. And I want you to watch the first 30 minutes of it. You can watch more if you want. It's like 2 hours long. quite frankly, watching the whole thing is almost unbearable. It's just not. I mean, it's interesting at the beginning, but as it goes on and on, it's long. So it's like 2 hours long. So I just want you to watch the first 30 minutes of it. And what you will do is you'll click on the film, Triumph of the Will, and then click on the link to open it in YouTube. Okay, so then you open it separately in YouTube. Then open the quiz. It'll say video quiz, Triumph of the Will. Open the quiz from modules, and all the quiz it's a free 10 points. All you need to do is write a paragraph response that demonstrates that you watched and paid attention to the film. It should be a full paragraph with some specific detail and some analysis, but generally it's free points. Just watch the video and write the response. What I really want you to think about, and I'll go back to the factoid in just a second, what I really want you to think about when you watch this film, Triumph of the Will, is what is it that the Nazis are trying to demonstrate? What are they trying? Propaganda is, using speeches, written word, posters, film, rallies, all these types of things to influence the thinking of the populace, right? That's how it functions, trying to manipulate how people think about issues. So my question for you is, when you watch this, what are the Nazis trying to convey? What are they trying to get the German people to think about the Nazis in Germany? What are they trying to demonstrate to the German people? Why is it propaganda? So the factoid for this week is just email me, Triumph of the Will, an infamous German propaganda film, probably the most well-known, in which it takes place at a 1935 Nazi rally in Nuremberg, Germany. And it's an entire production. Propaganda on this goes right down to how it was shot, like the filming of it, the way, the angles, the types of things that are filmed. Think about this, okay? So think about, what is it that the Nazis are trying to do? Why is this propaganda? So Triumph of the Will, 1935 German propaganda film. Email that to me. That's all you have to do. Triumph of the Will, by Wednesday at midnight. No later than midnight. Not at midnight. Okay. All right. Anyway, hopefully I see more people doing the extra credit this week. So let's have a great week. Hopefully I'll see more people involved in the discussion forum as well. All right, guys. Let's have a great week.